запрошується президент Парламентської асамблеї Організації Північно-Атлантичного договору Маркос Перестрелло. Я прошу вас.
How beautiful is the Ukrainian flag, and how beautiful it is side by side with the European flag. They match together precisely with the same colors. It's very moving to see those flags together. Mr. Speaker, distinguished members of Parliament, in February 2022, the world entered a new era. Putin believed that he could, within 3 days, install a puppet regime in Kyiv and erase hundreds of years of Ukrainian history and identity. He believed that he could redraw the map of Europe and impose a new world order. He failed. We were not ready, and we should have been. Thankfully, Ukraine did not fall into the abyss. It stood strong. And inspired by the Ukrainian remarkable resistance, we Europeans caught up quickly. This is the Assembly's 6th visit to Ukraine since the full-scale invasion, and each time I witnessed the unwavering resilience and determination of the Ukrainian people. Your iron will to resist the Russian invader and remain defiant, even in the face of last week's horrific attacks here in Kyiv, is a powerful testament to your patriotic commitment to sovereignty and democracy. I want to pay tribute to all the fallen heroes of Ukraine, to all the men and women in uniform, and to all citizens of Ukraine who stand up every day to Russia's aggression. I also want to pay tribute to all of you, members of the Verkhovna Rada, who have been extraordinary ambassadors for Ukraine throughout this war. The NATO Parliamentary Assembly has stood with you and with Ukraine from day one. We were among the first international organizations to expel Russia in April 2014, and among the first to support the Crimea platform. We were the first group. We were the first group from a NATO institution to visit Ukraine after the start of Russia's full invasion. We have mobilized support and military assistance in our respective parliament and established a special fund to assist the Verkhovna Rada and to organize a NATOPA session in Ukraine. Our message of support for Ukraine's independence, sovereignty, territorial integrity, right to self-defense and self-determination have been clear and consistent since day one. Let me reiterate them today. Russia bears sole responsibility for its illegal, unprovoked aggression and for the death, suffering, and destruction it has caused. The Russian regime and its preparators will have to answer for their crimes. We strongly denounce the assistance provided to Russia's aggressions by the Belarusian, North Korean, Iranian, and Chinese regimes. We made clear from the very beginning that this war is not just about Ukraine. It will define the world we and our children live in. Ukraine is at the forefront of a geopolitical confrontation between democracies and autocracies. By supporting Ukraine, we also protect our own security and our shared democratic values. We are committed to support Ukraine's democracy and its right to choose its own path, including NATO membership. Of course, we meet at a decisive but difficult moment. The stakes cannot be higher. We support all efforts to bring the war to an end and commend Ukraine for demonstrating time and again that it is ready to discuss the contours of a fair and just peace. We are at a crossroad on a path to a diplomatic solution. We must remain clear-eyed about the stakes. The outcome of any negotiations regarding Ukraine will set a precedent for global security. Russia is watching, but also is Beijing, Tehran, and Pyongyang. What happens in Ukraine will influence their calculations and will be determined for our future. And nothing should be decided about Ukraine without Ukraine. Weakness or concession today could invite further aggression tomorrow. We know now what Putin is capable of, and we know his ambitions go well beyond Ukraine. Again, we were prepared when this war started. Being caught unprepared once may be naivety. Being caught twice would be foolishness. Over the years, NATO and Europe have made numerous sincere efforts to engage in honest dialogue with Russia, only to be met with resistance, deception, and aggression. In 2010, NATO's strategic concept envisioned a partnership with Russia, and in 2014, Russia invaded Crimea. Furthermore, the democratic West sought to foster peace by deepening economic relations with Russia, particularly through energy partnerships. And in 2022, Putin tried to take over Kyiv. Seems clear that the only road to peace is through strength. Our democratic nations must demonstrate that democracies are stronger, not just because we have the higher moral ground, but also because we have the ability to deter, defend, and to help our friends push back against aggressions. Our task and responsibility is clear. First, we must continue to help meet Ukraine's immediate needs, to give Ukraine the resources to defend itself, defend your cities, defend your people. The stronger Ukraine is on the battlefield, the stronger it will be, as well as the negotiation table. Our second priority must be to ensure that Europe, America, and Ukraine work together to establish a just and lasting peace, underpinned by solid security guarantees for which everyone must be available. We must provide Ukraine with the strongest possible guarantee that Russia will never again be allowed to attack. Third, Europe must mobilize. Today, by providing immediate aid, but also by showing that it is ready to take the initiative to guarantee a long-term peace within the framework of a future agreement, and that we are ready to take on a much larger share of burden for our own security. Fourth, I hope the Hague Summit will reaffirm that NATO will continue to play its full part. By coordinating assistance and training through the new command in Wiesbaden, which our NATOPA members and Ukrainian MPs visited last week. By delivering on the financial pledge which allies made in Washington. By increasing the Ukrainian armed force interoperability with NATO. By providing long-term practical support. By supporting Ukraine's defense industry, and also by leaving the door open to Ukraine's future membership. I am determined to ensure our Assembly continues to support Ukraine now at this critical moment and for the long term, through strong political messages, by continuing to mobilize assistance, by supporting all of you and your work in the Verkhovna Rada. In the end, we all desire peace, and none more than Ukrainian people, who have borne the greatest burden in this conflict. Ukrainians are the ones fighting on the front lines, enduring hardships that many thought had been eradicated from the European continent. Just yesterday, I visited a rehabilitation center here in Kyiv. There I witnessed firsthand the heavy toll borne by the heroes of Ukraine, those who have risked everything to defend their nation's independence, identity, and sovereignty, to honor their sacrifice, to ensure it was not in vain. Peace cannot come at any cost. It cannot be a peace born of surrender, for true peace can only exist when it is rooted in freedom and strength. Ukraine has the right to be free, deserves to be free, and it is our job to help make Ukraine stronger. Slava Ukraini!